Om Shri Sadgurave Namaha. Jai Guru. Hello viewers. We are going to recite the third part of the Discourse of Sadguru Maharshi Mehi Paramhans Ji Maharaj, two parts of which have already been posted. In the previous session, we had seen that the seat of the individual soul in the body keeps on changing every day from between the eyes to the throat and to the heart. And accordingly, our state also changes from the waking state to dream state to deep sleep or dreamless sleep state. As we see that the descension of the individual soul in the body leads to greater and greater increased level of ignorance, and as we move upwards higher, the level of awareness goes higher or becomes better. And going by the logic, it could be said that if we move even beyond the center of the two eyes, then we move into a fourth state, which is called as Turiya state, where we rise the body consciousness and move into an altogether different realm, which is called subtle or astral realm. There we find that our mind also gets purified, quietened, and our awareness, level of awareness goes to an altogether different horizon, where we can cognize things which are taking place on a different horizon which we had never seen earlier. And in addition to that, we are also aware of whatever is going on in this gross universe, that even otherwise a small part of it we were conversant with or in knowledge of. So that is why, as we find that if we get rid of only one body, our level of awareness gets richer and reaches an altogether different level. So what if the soul could be rid of all the layers or coverings that keep overlying it? Then naturally the awareness or the knowledge or the wisdom that would result will be unparalleled. But how to do this? For this, we have to practice certain methods or techniques of meditation that are taught by a perfect master or adept who is known as Sadguru. And we have to keep on practicing that method relentlessly, assiduously, and regularly. And the biggest obstacle in this is our own mind, against whom we have to wage a constant battle, incessant battle, and the battle is so difficult that in the face of it, even the battle, the wars that soldiers have to fight pale into insignificance. Our mind's defilements, its restlessness come in the way, whereas what is required is that we have to keep focusing on the target as directed by our Guru. And for this, we cannot escape into any portion of the universe where this could be possible. Because wherever we might retreat to, even if we go to heaven, there also we'll find that the mind is very much there, our senses are very much active, and therefore we have to go on lifting ourselves, raising ourselves till the soul has been rid of all its veils. And the soul is revealed in its true nature, where there are no organs, no sensory objects. It is here only that true, ultimate, and eternal bliss could be realized. And this is called the state of total or perfect liberation or salvation. And this state of liberation has to be attained while we are still living with this gross body. Because if this goal has not been achieved fully, our task remains unfulfilled or incomplete, then no liberation happens after we are dead. We have to come back to this body and continue our practice, and liberation will be achieved only when we have perfected the technique, when we have reached the goal while we are still alive in this very body. So once we have attained or tasted salvation, realized salvation while living in this body, then only post-death the ultimate deliverance or liberation or freedom of all bondages could be attained. Otherwise, if this liberation has not been attained while living, then no liberation keeps waiting for us after death. This has to be realized. And as I said, that once we are able to attain to that level, then the knowledge or the wisdom that results is unparalleled. It's like never, it can be compared to none in the whole of all the levels of universes. So when we say that it cannot be compared to any other knowledge, then this leads us to further topic, that is, there should be different levels of knowledges. Okay, so when we start reciting or continuing the recitation, now this topic is going to be discussed by Maharshi Mehi Paramhans Ji Maharaj. As you remember, we had discussed in the last quotation we had read was from a verse of Goswami Tulsidas Ji, where it was said that if 16 moons or the full moon in all its splendor, as well as the stars rise together in the sky, and additionally if all the mountains are lit, that is set on fire, still the night won't vanish, won't disappear unless the sun has risen. And similarly, while teaching Garud, the king of birds, the crow Kagbhushundi says that in the same way, without devotion to God, the afflictions or ailments in life would never be cured. And as we go on advancing in our devotion, in our meditation, the stage of knowledge, the level of knowledge also goes on increasing. And now we read the third part of the discourse. Jnana or knowledge is of 4 categories. First of all, we develop Shravan Jnana, that is knowledge by hearing. Shravan means hearing, to hear or hearing, and Jnana means knowledge. The knowledge that we gather by hearing or reading various scriptures, listening to the talks or discourses, or reading various sacred scriptures. So first of all, we develop Shravana Gyan, knowledge by hearing, which is followed by Manan Gyan, that is, the knowledge gained through contemplation or reflection on things heard. That is, whatever we listen or whatever we read, we start thinking over that, contemplating or reflecting over that, and the view that gets fixed in our mind as a result of our contemplation or reflection is known as Manan Gyan. Okay, knowledge gained through contemplation or reflection on things heard. Manana Gyan is followed by Nididhyasan Gyan, that is, the knowledge accruing from practicing or implementing the concepts acquired through knowledge accruing from practicing or implementing the concepts acquired through listening and contemplation. That is, first we listen or read, then we contemplate over that, ponder over whatever we have listened or read, and once we get convinced about the veracity, about the rectitude of the method, then we have to learn how to practice that, how to implement those concepts into practice, and we have to start practicing. And as we start practicing, then certain experiential knowledge start coming to us. So that type of knowledge, this is the third stage of knowledge, which accrues as we go on practicing and practicing and practicing. So this type of knowledge is known as Nididhyasana Gyan. Nididhyasana means practicing. And finally comes the Anubhava Gyan, knowledge gained by direct experience. Okay, it's not that we have heard it somewhere, we have read it somewhere, we have contemplated over it, or we have had a glimpse of that, not that. When it becomes our direct experience, we have experienced it, and now I can say with certainty that yes, this is true. So that is the stage of knowledge which comes the last of all, and it is known as Anubhava Gyan, knowledge gained by direct experience. Sravana Gyan, the first level, comes from listening or reading. Manan Gyan refers to the knowledge gained by reflecting or contemplating on what we have listened. Nididhyasan Gyan results from translating whatever knowledge we have collected by way of listening and pondering into practice, that is, by making efforts to acquire that knowledge firsthand. Anubhava Gyan is the knowledge that directly comes from the first-hand experience, what we have ourselves experienced on practicing whatever we had learned on the basis of hearing and contemplating. There is no knowledge beyond or superior to the Anubhava Gyan or direct experiential knowledge. Sravana Gyan is like an ordinary fire which gets easily extinguished by the rainwater. That is, the knowledge which is acquired through listening may vaporize as soon as we get entangled in our worldly affairs. Manan Gyan is compared to a flash of lightning. Okay, flash of lightning is very bright, it illuminates the whole sky. Similarly, Manan Gyan has been compared to flash of lightning. Such knowledge does not get quenched, but it's not stable or durable. Nididhyasan Gyan, or the Gyan or knowledge that results out of practicing, is like the Badava Nal, that is the fire or heat which is said to be existing in seas or oceans. The Badwanal, that is the ocean fire or heat, it contains the sea water. That is, keeps the sea water within limits or control. Though it is not capable of drying it completely, this type of fire cannot dry up the whole of ocean, but it keeps it under control. That is, we may not have heard of seas getting flooded like rivers do. The Anubhava Gyan or the experiential knowledge is like the fire of catastrophe, or the fire that causes complete destruction or annihilation of the entire universe at the end of a kalp. Okay, it is believed in the Eastern wisdom, Oriental wisdom, that the whole of creation, first it starts, creation starts, it develops, expands, and then it finally gets dissolved or destroyed. Okay, and that is known as the day of catastrophe or cataclysm. So, as during that cataclysm or catastrophe, the whole entire universe gets destroyed, annihilated, or it gets involuted into its original cause. Okay, similarly, everything is destroyed. Similarly, it is said that the Anubhav Gyan or the experiential knowledge, it burns all the dichotomies or dualities arising out of illusion. That is, all the illusory knowledge, false knowledge, untrue, unreal knowledge, it gets completely destroyed. Anubhav Gyan is gained during the state of perfect samadhi. That is, the state of the deepest trance or the highest state of meditation. Perfect samadhi happens in the Turiya Tita Avastha, that is, the state which lies even beyond the Turiya or the fourth state. First, waking state, second, dream state, third, deep sleep state. If we start from bottom, then deep sleep, then dream, then woken up state, and the fourth is Turiya state, where we get extrasensory perceptions. And then even beyond the Turiya state lies our true nature, our own self or God. So that knowledge of our own self-realization or God realization, it happens when we transcend even the Turiya state, and that is the state of perfect samadhi, and there the knowledge that comes to us, accrues to us, is known as Anubhava Gyan, direct experiential knowledge. It is not based on any, bookish knowledge or the knowledge gathered from hearing discourses of so many wise or enlightened people. No, it is our own experience. We testify in our own experience that yes, I am that. So perfect samadhi happens in the state beyond the Turiya state, where the triad of knowledge, knower and knowable, seer, seen and seeing, hearer, hearing and the heard, all this triad gets completely dissolved. The person who has attained this state is always in the state of samadhi. As Sant Kabir Sahib says in one of his verses, O noble people, spontaneous samadhi or union is the best state. Union with, or that is union of part with the whole. Soul with the Supreme Soul. Since the day I realized the glory of Guru, every day it has got better and better only. Wherever I go, I circumambulate him. All I do or achieve is his service. When I lie down or sleep, I lie prostrate at his feet. I worship no other God. All that I utter is his name, and here is his praise or chanting. All that I partake of is his worship. Oh, I treat home and desert alike. I have done away with all the notions of duality. I shut not my eyes, plug not my ears, do not mortify myself a bit. I behold him with my eyes open and smile and see his beauty all around. As I got hooked to the quintessential word, all the wild desires have fled me. Whether I rise or sit down, every moment I am connected to him. So intense has become my intoxication. This is all about, O Kabir, the detached way of living that I have sung in the above lines. I immersed myself into the highest state which lies beyond all sorts of sufferings and pleasures. Sant Kabir. This precisely is the direct knowledge, Anubhava Gyan or Aparoksha Gyan. This precisely is the experiential knowledge. Only such a state can give perfect satisfaction, absolute contentment that would never go away, never attenuate. It will always remain same, uniform, constant. In any way other than this, regardless of however much one read, write and lecture around, this state would not come. Having said this, now Maharshi Mehi goes on to say that now I would say something on controlling or restraining the flow of thoughts, the propensities of mind. And what is that, what he says in that context or on that issue or subject, that we'll listen in the next part of the discourse. Hope you have liked today's part of the discourse. Thank you very much. We'll meet again soon with the fourth part. Jai Guru, Radha Swami, Vaheguru, Satyaram Sa, Namaste.